Dopamin. Dopamin. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it. Dopamin. Dopamine. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it. Dopamine.
back on the tail of Gunnar. As he's looking to make an overtake already. Down the inside he goes.
Is he He's gonna do it!
Oh, with Hackett now up into P9. Down the inside he goes. Another aggressive move on the other Mercedes driver. Is he gonna make a mistake? Doesn't look like.
Closing. Problem is, if he goes.
Oh, that's nice for Broad Adam, moving up to P7.
Dopamine.
As he's currently looking to gain about 3 or 4 points. Oh, and is Nelboy gonna go for it down the inside of Waza? Seems like he is, and he makes up that position. Beautiful overtake by Nelboy.
12 races, multiple divisions, 20 drivers.
All that sound good? Then why not join us now ahead of the new season? The link to our Discord will be in the description, and we hope to see you on track with us.
Delta T Racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DTR Division 1. I am D Summers 90. I am your commentator for this evening, and we are back at it again in Austria. We are doing the Austria reverse track this evening for the second time in a row. Of course, last week we were here for the normal Austria race, where it was a very, very wet day in the Styrian Mountains, where Theo came out on top, followed by Benny. Let's see, who was it in third? It was Benny Buno in third place on that race. So, with last week's results, it means that Red Bull pull even further ahead of the reserve team of Cadillac. They are now, what is that, 38 points ahead of the Cadillac team, with Aston Martin gaining points behind as well. But now, let's get on board with Stuart as he starts his first flying lap. He does like to be the first man out on track. This is going to be a very difficult race because a lot of the drivers here have not raced this direction in a league setting before. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers cope with the change in direction. Very wide through turn 5 there from Stuart as he comes through turn 6 up to turn 7. Takes the optimal wider line through turn 7, opens the DRS, puts the pedal to the metal. Hopefully that car ahead is going to get out of his way as he is on a hot lap. Takes the original turn 3 very cleanly. Stuart trying to get what he can of a toe. Sauber ahead does get out of the way for the last corner. What is Stuart going to be able to do here? Let us see as he comes across the line. It's a 105.1. Who is next? It is Sportman. Showing off his skills already. A 104.4 for the reserve driver here this evening. Mars Ranger, what does he do? A 109.4. I believe that was a double out lap, potentially. Benny with a 104.3, stating his intent for tonight's race. We also have Young Exility, or the crankiest, as he is on the timing board there. Let's see, who else do we have on a lap? We have Rickard about to cross the line here. He goes up to P3 with a 105.1. Then we've got Aston Martin of Theo about to start his lap. D-Rush coming round the final corner now. Where is he going to put his Sauber? Up into P5, a 105.9. We have... Let's see. Mars Ranger coming across the line to finish his actual fast lap. It's P3, a 104.7 from the McLaren. We now have Young Auxility coming around the final corner onto the start-finish straight, up to P4, a 105.0. Not a bad lap as a banker. We now have Skipper. Let's see what the Dutchman can do. Up to P8, just behind his teammate, a 106.2. We've got Theo coming across the line now. Up to P2, a 104.3. A great lap from the Aston Martin there. So let's see. We have Havoc Connor on an out lap. We have got Charlie, who has just started his fast lap. Let's see how he takes the infield here. Oh, big snap of oversteer from the Aston Martin. He hasn't given up on the lap, though. He wants to get a time on the board. It looks like it could be threatening rain at some point during qualifying, to be fair. Looking at the clouds, I could be wrong, though. Rather neat through turn 8, I believe that is in this configuration. Getting a tow from his teammate. Through the final corner. Where will Charlie put himself? Comes across the line. It's 9th place, a 105.9. So we've got Havoc Connor about to start his fast lap. We'll stay on him for the time being. Oh, and he goes wide, but does not invalidate through turn 1. I get the feeling he's not going to enjoy turn 1 through the race here. It's a difficult corner to get absolutely right. I believe Sportmad is now starting a lap. Let's see how Havoc Connor does in Sector 3 here. See if you can get this final corner right. I know he was struggling earlier on in practice. Takes it very nicely in qualifying, though. Where does this put him? Up to P8, a 105.7. Not a bad lap from the Racing Bull. Kavolis is on a lap. We have Sportmad also on a lap, so we'll catch the Sector 3 of the Williams driver. Of course, he is in a reserve seat, and he's not happy. He is coming back into the pits. Now, I have predicted that at least one or two of the drivers might end up hitting the wall on pit entry. Stewart comes across the line, puts himself up into P5 with a 104.9. Where does his teammate go? Kavolis comes across the line, and it's P5, 104.7. I will try and get Young Auxility back in if he has accepted my friend request. Yep, there it is. Let's get him back in because, as I predicted before the race, he disconnected. It's a good thing he accepted my friend request when he did. So Kavolis and Stewart have done their run. It's down to Ricker now, who is also a reserve in the Williams. So both Williams cars are reserves this evening. As he comes down to the final corner. Looks very neat and composed from Ricker. Up to P7 with a 104.970. The exact same time as Stewart. Stewart and Kavolis both doing more laps at this point. Charlie has now started his fast lap. Let's see if he can go any faster than he did last time. He had a bit of a wobble through this corner here. He goes wide but doesn't invalidate. He got very lucky there. He did cross the white line. Bit of a wobble on the exit of 5. Comes through turn 7. Nice and clean. DRS wide open. ERS being pushed. Heavy braking, slight lock up into turn 8. But that is to be expected. It is a very awkward corner to be dealing with. As he comes down into the final corner. Bit of a lock up there as well. But he manages to make the corner nonetheless. Let's see where he goes. Up to P9, a 105.1. We now have Bogarovsky coming across, and that is P10 with a 105.3 from the Dutchman. So let us see who is going to be the next to cross the line. It will be Connor on outlap. Then we have Skipper, who will be starting lap. We have a Williams of Sport Mad, who has invalidated. I believe that is his fast lap though, so that's unfortunate for him. He is not going to be completing this lap with a fast time. Is he coming back into the pits? No, he is going to go one more time. He has enough in the tank to go another lap. So, let's see. We now have Benny coming across the line, setting a new fastest lap of a 104.1. Putting himself healthily on pole position by 2/10. Theo is going to absolutely have to push for his last lap if he is going to get up to him. Mars Ranger up to P3 with a 104.4. We then have D-Rush has come across the line. It was not a push lap, it was a cool down lap by the look of it. We then have Young Exility coming across the line. We've also got Skipper coming down to the line now. Connor has retired from the session. I don't know if that was on track or in the pits. Let's see who is the next to come across the line. It will be Sport Mad. He is not invalidated now. So, comes through the final corner. A little bit squirrely on the exit, but let's see where he goes. Up to P1, beating Benny by a couple of hundredths. Brilliant lap from Sport Mad. Let's hope he can keep that up for the race. As we've got D-Rush, I don't believe he is pushing. Actually, no. He is now out of battery, but has plenty of deployment, but he's coming back into the pits. Let's see. Mars Ranger also into the pits. We've got Young Exility coming into the final corner. Neatly taken. Almost invalidates, but keeps it just inside the lines. Up to P6, a 104.7. Let us see. Where is Skipper going to put himself? A little bit wide of the apex, but he gets through there cleanly enough. Where does Skipper improve to? He does not improve. He goes 12 seconds slower. This is probably his push lap now. We have Stewart on an out lap. He is going to be starting his lap. So we'll stay on with Skipper while he is on his fast lap. Now, it is known that Skipper has been one of the slower drivers when he hasn't had any practice in previous seasons. Him and his teammate for the longest time of Composite made up the oldest average age of any racers I've seen in a league setting. But it's good to see him finally picking up the pace, getting used to how this game and the physics feel. And he goes wide on the final corner. Connor says he's adding that to the spectacular crashes that he's had. I didn't realise you had crashed, Connor. I thought you had retired in the pits. We will have to see a clip of that at the end of the stream. Or after the stream even. Skipper went a couple of hundredths faster than previous. We will go on board with Stuart. He is doing a double outlap by the look of it. So the Alpine starting his lap now. Let's see what Stuart can do. Can he get himself any further towards the podium places in qualifying? Turns 4 and 5. Turn 5 was a bit of a nightmare the right way round. It's even worse in the reverse. So Connor jumped the grass verge in the DRS between 3 and 4 in the normal direction. So between 7 and 8, and slammed into the concrete at the exit of 3. Oh, okay. That sounded like it would be a great clip, Con. I'm going to have to see that at some point, as Stuart now comes into the pits. Let's see who is on a lap. Skipper went again, but he did stop to let Bogorovsky go ahead of him. And he invalidates through the exit of turn 1. That's unfortunate. D-Rush is almost half a tenth up on his previous time. It will put him up to P11 if he can keep it through the final corner. Let's see where he puts himself. Yep, up to P11 ahead of Havoc Gunner. Sportmad now starting a lap. Stuart is invalidated. Charlie is invalidated. Bogorovsky is on the charge. He does have a Mercedes in front of him on an outlap. So Theo and Benny are coming out on outlaps. We'll stay on with Bogorovsky, as he is the first one on a valid lap, I believe. He improves by 3 tenths, but it's not enough to move position. Skipper comes across the line to start a new lap. Let's see. Charlie is invalidated. We have Sportmad coming around the final corner just to try and improve his dominance at the top of the table. He is not going to do it with that lap, unfortunately for him. Mars Ranger comes across. Does improve, but marginally. D-Rush comes across the line, does not improve position. Kavolis now. He improves, but not on position. Theo goes pole with a 104.0. Now we have Benny. Is Benny going to be able to retake pole position? No, he is not. He was slower than his previous. We've now got Bogorovsky and Benny Buno coming across the line together here. Benny Buno 110.9, Bogorovsky a 105.04. We now have Young Exility coming around the final corner. He is not pushing to the line. But Charlie is. Is Charlie going to improve? He does not improve. The final man going around the track now is Skipper. Is he going to improve at all? No, he's not. He's on a 130, so we're just waiting for him to cross the line, and that will be your starting grid. So, unfortunate for Havoc Connor there. He was, I believe, on a fast lap and screwed up royally to put himself out of qualifying. But that is your starting lineup. Theo and Sportmad on the front row, followed by Benny and Mars Ranger, then Kavolis and Young Exility. Ricker and Stuart are behind them. Bogorovsky and Charlie behind them, followed by D-Rush and Connor, followed by Skipper and Benny Bruno bringing up the rear. So, my predictions. Chaos into turn 1 after the formation lap is done. Then Chaos into the original turn 3, which is turn 8 in this configuration. And then lap 2, 3, 4, maybe safety car or VSC. And then things will start to spread out a little bit. That's only my guess. That is my unprofessional opinion on the situation. Hopefully Havoc Connor doesn't repeat what he did in qualifying. Otherwise that would be mightily upsetting for him. And for us, because we know Havoc Connor can be quick, but just has the most rotten luck of all men from Yorkshire. So, while we're waiting for the drivers to sort out their strategies and ready up for the formation lap, please make sure to check down below the video. There is a link in the description for the Discord. If you wish to join as a driver, if you wish to join as a steward or just a member of staff, even a commentator, or if you just want to be a member of the community and see all the screaming and shouting that happens after a race, do hit that link in the description, join the Discord, and don't be afraid to say hi. We're usually friendly people unless we're arguing with each other. We also have a group that plays Football Manager and a group that also plays EAFC as well. So you'll be more than welcome to join those if you wish. So here we go for the formation lap. We will put the lap data on as well. Hide that. And Bogorovsky and NLD Rush have come together already. D-Rush going into the back of Bogorovsky by the look of it. So Bogorovsky will be swearing in the VC, calling D-Rush all kinds of names. And yeah, we will go on board with Benny at the start of the race, because turn 1 is going to be an absolute chaos fest. But we'll see how drivers do and get through turn 1. You have to be very careful of the inside, because there is a big old concrete wall if you take the corner too tight, and it will destroy your car. It has no chill. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, what are your predictions for this evening? Where do you think these drivers are going to end up at the end of the race? I haven't been told if there is any weather changes or anything of the sort, so we will find out after the race. So we'll see if we get a better camera than this one when the lights come on. If not, I will sit on board with Benny. There we go. So that is going to be 1 red light, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and out they go, and the Austrian Grand Prix in reverse has started. Let's see if there's any chaos whatsoever going through turn 1, and it looks like Stuart has already lost part of his front wing, and it's put Benny down to 6th with the contact. That's unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. Stuart already having damage on the right end plate. Kavolis trying to get around Benny as well. Benny and Kavolis fighting through Sector 2 already. And all because Kavolis' teammate bumped Benny. Benny Buno makes the move on Benny. It's always a nightmare when those two are fighting because they're both Bennies. But it seems everyone, apart from that slight contact, has got through cleanly for lap 1. Theo has taken first place from Sport Mad on the start, followed by Mars Ranger. Then Stuart is pushing on with the wing damage that he has, followed by Young Exility and Benny Buno, then Kavolis, Rika, and Benny. So Rika has got past Benny at some point in that final sector. Benny is on the hard tyres though, so let's have a look at the tyres. So it's a half and half split on the drivers for mediums and hards at the start of the race. Let's have a look at the position changes. The biggest winner at the moment, is Benny Buno, and he loses traction out of turn 7. Stuart right on the rear of Young Exility, almost goes into the back of him, and Benny Buno's into the wall. That is unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. I think he might have got a slight shunt going into the corner. So we now have a distinct front pack of Theo, Sportmad, and Masked Ranger. Masked Ranger getting the fastest lap on the second lap there, with Stuart 3 seconds behind with the damage. Then we've got Young Exility being attacked by Kavolis through Sector 2 here. Let's see if Kavolis can make the pass stick. He does. He gets the move on the inside of turn 5, but Young Exility is fighting back. Give me a better camera view. They're neck and neck here. Give me a better camera, please. There we go. Young Exility taking the inside. A bit of contact between the two. I do apologise for the coughing, ladies and gents. But this has now brought Rika and Benny back into the fight for this position. Kavolis dives up the inside of Young Exility. Young Exility with the the softer compound of tyres, able to hang it around the outside and keep the position. Meanwhile, Benny has got himself past the Williams of Rika as well. But Havoc Connor with a penalty. I didn't see where he got this penalty. So we can see here the Mercedes of Young Exility trying to push Stuart through the corner. It seems Stuart is really struggling with that damage to the front right end plate. And Stuart is doing his best to defend against the Mercedes to let his Alpine teammate through. And Kavolis is around the outside here. There's a bit of contact on the apex, but nothing doing. Kavolis gets the job done. Is Stuart going to let his teammate go now? Kavolis around the outside of the final corner gets the job done. Now Stuart is going to have the DR. Oh no, he's got no DRS. Both of them passed the DRS point at the same time, meaning that neither of them got the DRS. Benny up the inside of turn 1. That's a brilliant move from the Red Bull driver there. So I've also noticed with Benny Buno making that mistake through turn 8, is now back down into the final position, with Charlie now getting past Havoc Connor. I think Connor made a mistake. He also has major damage to the right of his front wing. So Charlie, Young Exility, and Bogarovsky all ahead of the Racing Bull driver, sorry. Young Exility up the inside and they lock tyres. That gives Bogarovsky the chance to get back through. Charlie is now on the push, wanting to get past both of them. And he does. He makes the double move. That's a great move for the Aston. Oh, a big wobble. He is also missing his right end plate. That is not going to help him for the rest of this race. So now Kavolis and M. Benny have broken away from Ricker and Stewart. Everyone is in small trains, as it is now seeming. Sportmad is still trying to get himself past Theo. Theo has a slight lock-up into turn 7. Is Mars Ranger going to be able to capitalise, or is Sportmad going to be able to catch up to the back of Theo here? These three have made it very, very easy on the eye up in front. Bogarovsky gets himself past Benny into turn 7. Big lock up from Young Exility there. That is not going to help his tyres at all. Benny gets himself past Kavolis into P4. It is now time for him to put the foot down and catch the pack ahead if he can. Now, it looks like this will be a 2-stop race for most of the drivers, especially those who have got damage, as the tyre wear around here is slightly worse than in the original direction. So, as we have had a couple of changes here, Mars Ranger is up 1, Ricker and Stewart up 1, Young Exility down 2, Connor and Skipper up 1, D-Rush down 2. Everyone else is where they were. Let's see what the penalties are. Havoc Connor on 3 seconds and 3 seconds alone. Benny gets a really good drive out of turn 8 and gets himself the separation he needed from Kavolis, but Kavolis still manages to get the DRS, I believe. Let's see if he opens the flap here. Yep. Rear wing wide open, so he managed to sneak into the DRS of Benny there. Young Exility and Bogarovsky are now catching up to the crippled car of Stewart. Stewart doing all right considering he has a missing right end plate. Havoc Connor not close enough yet to make a move on Charlie. Skipper has joined the party on the back of them, and this might also bring D-Rush into the mix as well. So let's see. Sportmad trying to make a move on Theo for the lead of the race here. He gets the move done with DRS. Theo dives into the pits. He is going for the undercut. We'll see if he can get the undercut done. It looks like he is committing to the 2-stop. Benny and Kavolis, both on hard tyres, are going to be going long into the race. Now would be the time for Mars Ranger to make a move on Sportmad and potentially dive into the pits himself. So, where has this brought Theo out? Theo is in amongst the pigeons, as it were. He is in traffic behind Skipper now. So, is Mars Ranger going to make the move? Are these two going to respond to Theo's undercut? We will have to wait and see. We might get to see it this time around. Nope, they are staying out. They are likely committing to the 1-stop. Sportmad gets himself a time penalty. I'm not seeing the pop-up, so Mars Ranger gets around him on the start-finish straight with the use of DRS. Young Exility gets past Stewart, who comes into the pits. Hopefully he does get a wing change. Charlie and Theo both getting themselves past Havoc Connor. Havoc Connor is going to have to change his wing. Charlie is letting his teammate go. He knows he's on the fresh tyres. Charlie will want to stay within 1 second to defend against Havoc Connor and the Salvers. So Stewart has come out 18 seconds behind D-Rush. That's a big lock-up from Charlie into turn 7. And a bit of a wiggle from the rear of the car on the way out. A little bit of a snap. Mars Ranger comes into the pit. Sport Mad continues. Those tyres do not look happy on the McLaren. So Sport Mad is continuing. Where will Mars Ranger come out after his pit stop? Young Exility also comes into the pits. So we'll go on with Cavolis, who is right behind Benny here. Let's see what the gaps are like. Where is Young Exility going to come out? Is he going to be able to come out ahead of Stewart? He does, with 3 seconds, or near enough 4 seconds spare. That's not a bad position to be in. You would rather Stewart be behind you because he defends like a madman. Havoc Connor still hanging on to the back of Charlie here. Mars Ranger did come out behind Theo. It was a roughly 2 second gap. Havoc Connor goes around the outside of Charlie through turn 8 here. Makes the move, done and dusted. Theo is right behind Bogorovsky, who is on the older tyre. Theo gets the move done with DRS. No questions asked of Bogorovsky there. He knew it was going to be done. He gave the space and gave the position. Next will be Mars Ranger on the back of Bogorovsky here. Mars Ranger is on the medium tyres, so he didn't go medium hard. He's gone medium. He will need to stop again. Sticks the nose up the inside. Bogorovsky spots him last second, gives him the space. Theo gets himself past Ricker before the braking zone and locks up into turn 8. That's not going to help his tyre wear in the slightest. Skipper now gets himself past his teammate of D-Rush. And Young Exility also does the same and gets past D-Rush. Young Exility, big lock-up from the Mercedes driver. I do apologise. Cat got me tongue. Mars Ranger now looking for the move on Ricker, who is on the older compound of tyres. He has not come into the pits yet. Mars Ranger does it neatly through turns 5 and 6. Charlie is now into the pits, putting on a fresh set of medium tyres. So it looks like a lot of drivers are doing medium hard for the 2-stop. Meanwhile, Benny is in a little bit of no man's land. He's got himself away from Cavolis. Stewart has now got himself past D-Rush. Young Exility is chasing after Skipper. Let's see if he will be able to get the move done. Will Skipper defend this? No, he knows that he is on the older compound. Young Exility again locking up into turn 8. Cavolis and Mbeni now into the pits. What has the Red Bull man gone on to? He's gone to a second set of hard tyres. So he is doing a hard medium. He's come out behind his teammate. He is 4 seconds behind his teammate. Everyone has started to spread out, apart from Bogorovsky, who is now behind Ricker and within the DRS detection. So let's see if Bogorovsky can close the gap on Ricker here. DRS opens. He does get ever closer to the back of the Williams driver, but he's not close enough to get the move done yet. Let's see what he can do on the coming laps. We will have a look at Masked Ranger though, as he has got into the DRS of the Aston Martin ahead. Havoc Connor gets himself past Kavolis. I don't know if there was contact there, as Kavolis has gone very, very far behind Havoc Connor there. So Ricker, Bogorovsky and Havoc Connor and Kavolis all into the pits. Young Auxility is staying out, as I believe he pitted a couple of laps ago. Sportmad is still running at the front on these soft tyres. Let's see. He's done 14 laps on these tyres so far. It's getting to the point where he might need to come in to change these tyres onto the hards. Let's see what he decides to do this lap as he comes into the pits. So Theo is going to take first place again, but it looks like Sportmad is doing the one stop. Let's see what tyres he decides to go onto here. He is going onto the hard tyres, and he's going to come out behind Benny, potentially ahead of Young Auxility. So he's not all that far off of the podium places here. He's about 2 seconds behind Benny on the hard compound. Benny is, of course, going to have his tyres up to temperature. So Skipper into the pits to take off those 14-lap-old hard tyres. He is going onto a set of mediums. Havoc Connor is going to get past him as he is in the pits. As is Benny Buno and Charlie. They are both going to be... Oh, actually, no. Benny Buno and Charlie are behind Skipper. So that's going to be awkward for them to get past him. Meanwhile, Theo is on the rear of Masked Ranger here. Both of them using the DRS to swap positions and get further down the road as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Charlie is close to the back of Benny Buno, but Kavolis is right on the rear of Charlie now. Kavolis is going to try the move between turns 7 and 8. Is he going to get it correct in the braking zone? He gets the move done. Nice and clean on Charlie there. Let's have a look at the front two here. Theo is still behind Masked Ranger. Is he going to be able to make a move into the final corner, as Kavolis now ahead of Benny Buno? So Theo holding back, not making the move into the final corner. Is he going to make the move coming up to turn 1 in this DRS zone? Is he close enough to make the move? He just does not have the straight line speed when Masked Ranger is burning the battery down that start-finish straight. So let's have a look. We have Stewart just outside DRS of Young Auxility. And as I have not been given the penalties as pop-ups, we've got Sportman, Young Auxility, Stewart, Ricker and Kavolis on 3 seconds. Havoc Connor and Charlie both on 6 seconds. So we are now halfway through the race for the front runners. D-Rush is getting close to being lapped here. Kavolis gets himself past Skipper. It's always awkward to try and get past Skipper. He knows where to place the car. He defends well. So to get past him with ease is a skill in and of its own. And I believe Charlie just made a mistake and Benny Bruno gets the position made. Stewart is now within the second of Young Exility. This is the fight for P5. Is Stewart going to be able to make the move on Young Exility going into turn 1? Doesn't look like it. Stewart is recharging the battery and goes very deep into turn 1. That is not how you want to take that corner. Looks like Sportman had a moment through turns 5 and 6. Sorry, turns 4 and 5 even. Stewart's still within the DRS of Young Exility ahead of him. Mars Ranger and Theo swapping places before the final corner. These two are just running away with it. Benny is slowly closing in. He's brought that down from about 6 seconds to 4.5. Then we've got Sportman, who had a bit of a whoopsie moment in the second sector. Lost a bit of time to Benny. Then we have Young Exility, 12.5 seconds behind with Stewart in tail. Ricker trying to close down that gap. Then we've got Bogorovsky with a sizable gap back to Havoc Connor, who has been in the wars, both in qualifying and in the race. He is followed by Kavolis and Skipper. Then Benny Bruno. Charlie has dropped back significantly in this race. And then he is followed by D-Rush. So let's have a look at what Mars Ranger is currently doing. He is not going for the move into the final corner, but he is very close to the back of Theo coming out of the final corner. Is he going to be able to go for the move into turn 1? It doesn't look like he got the drive out of the corner that he needed. Stewart now closing in on Young Exility. Doesn't go for the dive up the inside. Looks like Young Exility did cover the inside of the corner. Is Stewart going to go for the move here? Looks at the outside, but Young Exility parks it in the middle of the track, making it awkward for Stewart to make a pass. Yes, Grellis. Sportman had an incident. Meanwhile, at the back, D-Rush has got himself past Charlie. Charlie is struggling at the back here. Oh, he's putting his foot down. He must have lead in his boots, because he is awkward through the tight corners. So we have a giant Aston Martin sandwich at the moment, with Theo in first and Charlie in last. Although both of them are currently in Sector 1. That just tells you how fast the front runners are at the moment. Meanwhile, M. Benny has closed down 2 seconds in the last 3 laps. He is running really well. Young Exility coming in for his second stop. He is going onto the hard tyres. He is going to come out potentially alongside Havoc Connor here. So we'll keep an eye on this. I will keep an eye on the track map and see if there are any moves being made. So he's coming out just ahead of Havoc Connor. So Havoc Connor's going to want to be within that 1 second around the next few corners and get the DRS. And that is a cut from Havoc Connor there, if I ever did see one through turn 3. both Theo and Mars Ranger into the pits. This has given Benny the lead of the race here on the start of lap 23. Havoc Connor has already lost out, but he's got the DRS. Is he going to be able to catch the back of Young Exility? Ricker on the back of Stewart, who was having trouble earlier on after losing his right end plate. So Theo and Mars Ranger both come out in P3 and 4 respectively. They are 10 seconds behind Sportman at this point. Havoc Connor doing everything he can to stay on the back of Young Exility. Benny Buno comes into the pits, giving D-Rush P12, while Charlie also comes into the pits. So those drivers are now lapped by Benny. So they're going to find it difficult at this point to carry on. Ricker gets past Stewart as Stewart does go into the wall by the look of it as he comes into the pits. So drivers are now going on to their final stints. The tyre wear around here is astronomical, and it's why Grelis did not want to race here. I believe he said he wanted to have fun, so that's why he did not race. So our closest driver to anyone at the moment is Havoc Connor on the back of Stewart. Let's see if he can make a move. Although Mars Ranger has closed up to the back of Theo yet again. These two have been fighting from lap 1. So Mars Ranger not quite close enough to make a move this lap. But if he can stay behind Theo and stay within half a second, he will have DRS all the way around this track. And now Havoc Connor has dropped out of the DRS of Stewart, but has got back into it for the final DRS zone. So let's see if he can keep this up and get back into the DRS of the Alpine ahead of him. Meanwhile, Mars Ranger is still within half a second of Theo ahead of him. Closing the gap into turn 8. Benny has now come into the pits to start his final stint of the race. Is Mars Ranger going to be able to get the drive out the final corner to get himself into a position to make the move? So Benny looks like he will be coming out in 4th place, as he is 23 seconds or so ahead of Ricker. So that has now come down to 6 seconds. So Benny is now on the mediums. So he will be quick in this final stint. We'll see if he can catch these two and make a move. Bit of a lock-up from one of the drivers there. I didn't quite see who it was. Stewart closing up onto the back of Young Exility now. As both of the Saubers are coming into the pits. There is no double stack as NLD Rush is 12 seconds behind his teammate. So that is a good strategy from them. Meanwhile, Sportmad still 6 seconds ahead of Theo. Looks to be ahead of Benny Buno now. So 3 drivers have been lapped. Stewart gets his move done on Young Exility as Bogorovsky has now come into the pits. So I believe he is going to be in this fight as Young Agility tries to go around the outside of Stewart. Stewart closes the door quite abruptly there. As Havoc Connor has now come into the pits to start his final stint. And Benny 4 seconds away from the podium. So let's see if he can catch the guys ahead of him. Mars Ranger still. I do apologise for the coughing. Oh, I forgot to get myself a drink before the race. But Mars Ranger still trying to get himself past Theo before the end of this race. Meanwhile, Young Exility is now with... Oh, he's just snuck himself into the DRS at the last millisecond that he could. Stewart is running well now, considering the damage he had early on. It's no wonder he is currently 11 seconds behind Ricker, but it's still in the points. Mars Ranger not going for the move into turn 8, thinking better of it and giving himself the DRS run into the final corner here. Is he going to be able to get past Theo? Is Theo burning? No, Theo is not burning. Neither of them are burning. A little bit of a wiggle from Theo through turn 2. It will be an awkward corner. But all Theo needs to do now is gain a 10th or 2 on Sport Mad ahead of him. And he will have the finish that he wants, the win on this Austrian Grand Prix. Young Exility is catching Stewart through the corners, but losing out on the straights by the look of things. Kavolis has come into the pits. That now gives Havoc Connor 9th position. We want to see the pens. So, Sport Mad on 3, Ricker on 3, Young Exility and Kavolis and D-Rush all on 3. Benny Buno has a 10-second speeding in the pit lane, while Stewart and Charlie are on 6 and Havoc Connor on 9. So yet again, Havoc Connor is getting all of his penalty gremlins out tonight before he drives in Division 2 tomorrow. Theo is definitely closing in on Sport Mad ahead. They are now within 2 seconds of the driver ahead of them, but they have Kavolis and Skipper to deal with, I believe. And then they've also got the Mercedes of Benny Buno in this train as well. So both Skipper and Kavolis are going to have to get out of the way of the cars behind them. Skipper not really doing the best blue flag job, but there's Kavolis going wide as well. He goes wide and gets himself out of the way of the 2 cars that need to get past him. As Sportman has got himself past Benny Buno now. So he can now run away and try and create as much of a gap as possible. But Theo and Mars Ranger are closing in on their fresher tyres. Remember, I believe Sportman has done the 1 stop He is trying to go to the end on the tyres that he's currently on. So both Theo and Mars Ranger will have younger hard tyres and have the better grip. So Benny Buno gets well out of the way of the two drivers that are lapping him at this moment. And Theo is now within the second of Sport Mad ahead. So he could stay behind, or he could make the move and get the race win on track. It is up to him. Benny has seemed to drop back a little bit from the podium positions. But if he can get himself a little bit closer, he will also get himself onto the podium with Sport Mad's penalty, if I am not mistaken. We will have a look at lap to leader. He is within the 3 seconds of Sport Mad now. So he is going... Oh my word, that was a brilliant opportunistic move from Mars Ranger there. Theo made a mistake into turn 8, and Mars Ranger has capitalized on that mistake. So Mars Ranger is now on for the win in this race. Meanwhile, Benny Buno gets out of the way of M. Benny and lets him through. So M. Benny is well within the 3 seconds of Sport Mad. We still have 4 laps, including this lap, to go for the front runners. Meanwhile, we have Young Exility closing in on the back of Stewart. Is he going to be able to make the move here? I believe Mars Ranger might go for a move again into turn 8 here, so we'll stay on board with this. Pulls the nose through and gets the move done. But they both go onto the gravel. That's not what they wanted to do. And Theo now gets himself past the Williams reserve. These 4 have been fighting. Oh my word, Sport Mad is not liking those tyres right now. They are causing him so many problems. Oh, Benny, a big snap of oversteer coming through turn 1. That's not what he wanted. He is going to be at risk of the pass from Sport Mad come the DRS zone now. As Theo is still latched onto the back of Mars Ranger. Oh. Sorry guys, I am feeling rather lightheaded. I've been talking too much. So Theo not having the top end speed that he needs to stay with Mars Ranger there. Benny is in their DRS now, so he could theoretically go for the win, as Sport Mad is outside of the DRS now. Plus, with Sport Mad having the 3-second penalty, he is out of the running of the podium anyway. Is Theo going to be able to close the gap on the back of Mars Ranger on the penultimate lap here? Oh. It seems Theo is not going to be able to make the move. I think his tyres are dying off that little bit quicker than Mars Rangers. Meanwhile, Benny is still within the DRS of these two. If he can make the move on Theo, he will be able to attack. But remember, Benny is on the softer compound. His tyres are likely going to be going off now. He is on lap 10, so lap 10 of these medium tyres as we start the final lap. So now is the chance for both of these drivers to try and make an attack on Mars Ranger to try and get the win of this race. Has Theo been building up the battery? It looks like he's got about half of the battery. Meanwhile, Mars Ranger is burning out of turns 7. Benny very low on battery. Does not look like he's going to have the charge he needs to get the move done on this final lap. But he has done well to get himself back onto the podium after the incident on lap 1. So here we go. Mars Ranger coming down to the line will take the checkered flag first, followed by Theo, then Benny, then Sport Mad in P4. Then we have Ricker, who is miles behind at this point. Both Skipper and Benny Buno have been lapped, so they have now finished their race a lap down. Skipper getting P10 ahead of Benny Buno, D-Rush getting 11th. Ricker now coming across the line in 5th. Stewart will be coming across the line in 6th. Closely followed by Young Auxility, who gets the position. So Young Auxility 6th, Stewart in 7th. Will Bog jump both of them? Let us see. No, he does not. He's too far behind. We have Kavolis, who came into the pits for some reason. Havoc Connor finishes P9, getting points again. And Charlie down in P14, being your final runner in the race. No DNFs. A couple of incidents, but no DNFs. So well done, Division 1, for no safety cars, no VSCs, and everyone finishing the race on track. Well done, everyone. So well done to Masked Ranger, Theo, and M. Benny on getting the podium places. So your race winner was Masked Ranger, fastest lap from Kavolis. Driver of the day was Stewart. Most overtakes was Theo, and cleanest driver was Masked Ranger. So there we have it, ladies and gents. Masked Ranger, followed by Theo, then M. Benny. Sport Mad, unlucky to finish outside of the podium, but still a good P4 with a 3-second penalty. Ricker in 5th. Young Auxility in 6th. Stewart in 7th. Bogorovsky in 8th. Havoc Connor in 9th. And Skipper in 10th. Then you have D-Rush, Benny Buno, Kavolis, and Charlie all outside the points. So it is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Let us go over to the end screen. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for being here this evening. If you do wish to join the league, we have the Discord down in the description of the video. We will be back tomorrow for the same race for Division 2, hosted by Nellboy. So we will be back with Division 1 next week, 8 PM GMT. And I will see you then. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.